Look at that old truck. Sweet. That was a beauty. Believe it or not, I'm eating raw green onions right there, see? And drinking water. Raw green onions. That'll wake you up in the morning. Praise God. God is great. Eat healthy, your whole life will change. I found that out this year. Woo! My nose just opened wide up right there. Yeah. Can't say much for my breath the rest of the day. I'll have onion breath the rest of the day, just like an old man should, you know. Those old guys that got that garlic breath. But I promise I'm not going to kiss any strangers on the street, so I don't think they'll have to worry about it. Whoa, check out these idiots right here. Check them out. Those two guys are traveling together and they want to outdo each other in their trucks. Look at that. I'm doing 54 miles an hour. As it wasn't fast enough for Billy Bob and his twin brother, Bobby Bill. I don't know, they were showing their shoe size or their mentality or their IQ or something, or their age. You can pick any one of those. Pretty stupid. Just because your buddy passes someone, you're gonna pass also. The guy in the front must be the boss, paying the wages. same store I was at, the young girl in there was talking to me, you know, because I told her I don't live in Florida. I mean, I don't live in Newport. I'm in Newport now, heading to Depot Bay. I told her I live in Florence. Oh, I love Florence. Oh, I love Florence so much. She said, you should go to Depot Bay right now, and they're having King's Tide. You should go up there and watch the crashing waves. She said, you know, if you don't have anything to do, I said, I'm retired. Pretty much do anything I want right now. So I got in the car and I thought, well, you know, I think I'll take her advice. I think I'll drive to Depot Bay. There's a bunch of homeless people. There's a homeless girl crawling out of the bushes there. That's a tough life, I'll tell you that. I'm from the old school. I'm 63 years old. 20 years ago, if you saw a homeless woman, it would be pretty rare, but if you saw one, most people like me would pull over and ask them if they need any help. Because 20 years ago, there was no woman wanted to be homeless on the street, no. But most of them had enough sense to go to a church or something like that and get some help. But today, you can't go help a homeless woman. No. Oh, no, no, no. Not with today's new laws, political correctness. You know, she's probably got drugs on her. She could yell, you know, this guy's chasing me. Or this guy's offering me money for, you know, sex. That's what I'm saying. I mean, you can, if I see a woman in need or hitchhiking, I don't go near, no, I wouldn't go near him if you gave me $1 million. Because who is the policeman gonna, you know, believe? You, the guy saying to a homeless one, hey, you need $5. Or the homeless woman telling the cop, hey, this guy's abusing me and chasing me because she's crazy or on drugs or drunk or something. That's how much the world has changed. This is the point I'm making. If you see a homeless woman on the street now, you can't help them. You might end up in jail that night if you pull over and try to talk to them or help them. But you can help a man. You can help a homeless man today. You say, hey, you need a couple dollars? You know, buy a sandwich or a candy bar or something. The guy's like, yeah, thanks, man. But as far as women living on the street, well, you can't help them. Not unless you're going to take a huge chance. That's how far down our society has fallen. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's sad, you know, it's very sad. That's why I said, you know, you see a homeless woman. A homeless woman today has to go to the mission, the homeless mission, or to a Christian church and ask for, can I get some help? That's the only place they can get help. Because, you know, you can't go up to people on the street and really get help. And if you're a homeless woman, other homeless men, you know, they're going to try to abuse you. I mean, eventually. Well, that's what I say. You know, I'm 63 years old, so 20 years ago, you could help anyone. Not today. And today we have what's called professional homeless people. Now, people that want to be out there. They like, you know, their beer every day, their drugs once a week, they're smoking their cigar, you know, their 50-cent cigars. They love the lifestyle as long as they can keep getting free stuff. I mean, if you get free food every day and a little free money and free clothing through a church or whatever, and you go to a mission and once in a while get a bed and a shower, and then you can stand with a sign and someone gives you, you know, $15 a day for standing there for an hour, you can just live outside and do anything you want, basically. Young people, younger generation doesn't realize there weren't a lot of homeless women 20 years ago. It was kind of a rare thing. Now, when I was young, like 10 years old, the only homeless people were hobos down at the railroad tracks. That was the only people homeless, hobos at the railroad tracks. You know, they were that way on purpose. A lot of them actually came out of World War II or the Great Depression way back before I was born. And they went and, you know, they turned 60, 70 years old as hobos at the railroad tracks. They liked it. They enjoyed it. But they were professional travelers. They had backpacks, cooking ware, you know, metal silverware. They had knives, you know. They had skills. They could get work once in a while. You know, when I was 10 years old, there was no welfare in America. Not maybe a big city, but welfare when I was 20 years old, well, I would say when I was about 14 years old, welfare was a block of cheese and some bread, and that was it. And that's what you got for the month, the whole month. I know a lot of my friends, you know, back when we were, you know, in grade school, I never understood. They'd say they eat like 5 grilled cheese sandwiches a day. You know, I was 8 years old, 10 years old. I'm like, that sounds awesome. Man, I would love to do that. You know, like the dream of every kid. But I didn't realize they were on welfare and they got a 5-pound block of cheese and like 4 loaves of bread, and the mom would slice that cheese so thin, you know, like paper, and make grilled cheese sandwiches for her 3 or 4 kids on welfare.